We're live?
We're live. Live from New York City.
Ooh. Oshawa's the new New York.
Live from Oshawa, Ontario.
All right.
Cool.
If you guys ever need me to pull anything up, fire away.
You're the, what's Joe Rogan's guy?
I'm Jamie.
Jamie. Jamie, pull it up. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
So we're live. We're actually live?
Yep.
All right. Welcome to the Good Dudes Real Estate Podcast, episode 10. We made it. 10
We made
episodes.
It, yeah.
Wow.
We're relevant. Yeah. 10 episodes.
We need more
deep.
followers, though.
Yeah.
We still need more followers.
So everyone subscribe?
Yeah. Refer a friend. Come on.
Yeah, let's go. All right, Cam, what's happening?
Not much, man. I'm excited. We're back in the office.
Back in the office,
We're not in our office. We had a little bit of an air conditioning issue when we came back. We both wore shorts and short sleeve T-shirts, and I don't know. There's some
Walked into
the
a
AC's
freezer.
cranked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're in the front office of our office anyway. We're out of the Habibi household. Thanks for hosting us for
Of course, yes.
temporary time. Send me the bill, the cleaning bill, and yeah, looking forward to chatting a bit about real estate. Ontario's opening up here, which is nice. That's why we're back in the office. We're, I guess, in phase 1 right now.
Yeah.
So real estate's still chugging along. And, I'll start with you. Why don't you give us a little update on what's been happening with you?
Yeah, everything's good. I guess since the last time we spoke, the flip property sold, closing end of June, so that was exciting, fairly smooth. The two properties, the two duplex conversions that we're doing, the one of them, the inspection for the framing, insulation all passed. We're drywalling, mudding, taping, and then we're actually doing a bit of extra work, some additional work because of how good our purchase price was. We can afford to do some of these additional things because the refinance will be quite strong. So we're doing a new driveway, ripping out the driveway, putting in a new driveway,
Cool.
which is going to really give us a nice curb appeal.
Yeah, I was on Durham REI last night. They had their monthly meeting, and Mark Loeffler was on there. And it was interesting because he was talking about what he's doing in Edmonton, and he said one of his strategies is to over renovate, which I thought was interesting. And he's kind of the same, philosophy of, hey, make this place so nice that tenants love it. It appreciates. It appraises more. Is that your thinking, or is that just you got extra money and?
No, not necessarily got extra money. It's, again, yes, we do want to attract the nice tenants. We want the appraisal to be strong. We want, when the appraiser comes in, we want that strong curb appeal because it's a pretty ugly house that we bought. Like from the outside, it's disgusting looking.
Central Park, yeah.
Yeah.
What about
Yeah.
painting the brick?
Yeah, exactly. So we're doing that too.
You're going to do that too?
We're going to do that too, yeah.
Cool. What color are you going to do that?
We're going to do a light gray and black combo. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excited to see that.
Yep, that'll be fun. So so we're doing some extra work there, so that's nice. And then floral inspection for the basement for the framing done. We're getting the window put in. Plumbing is done. Coming along slowly, but luckily that property, the curb appeal is already nice. We don't need to really spend a lot of money there. But again, all these projects that you look at with the goal of spending as little money as possible, I'm still realizing that we're pretty much hitting $100K on every single reno. We even Central Park was a property that we purchased with framing done, plumbing done, but we're deciding to do a new driveway, paint the house. It just adds up, right? So we're pretty much going to be at $100K for both properties renoed.
Yeah. And I mean, I think I don't think we're surprised at that.
No.
But yeah, anytime you try to save money, I think if you're keeping the properties too, you're investing it, you're not spending it. And I mean, it's going to be a property you're keeping. If you're flipping it,
Different story, yeah.
Yeah, probably not wanting to splurge as much as possible. But I find the same way because I'm flipping one right now and holding on to one. And the one we're holding on to, we're like, again, let's do this. Let's, get everything done properly. Where the flip, you're kind of just like clean it up, make it look nice. Yeah. Put it back on the market, right? So,
yeah. Cool. How about you?
Yeah, chugging along too. We moved last week, so we're, kind of slow with some of that stuff, and took not a pause, but just haven't been pedal to the metal with them. Both of them not really, but they're both plumbing. We had our plumbing inspection passed. We're waiting to get the framing and that before we insulate. And we're still waiting for a permit in Ajax, which has been really annoying.
So how long has that been?
I don't know. I was trying to calculate. That's been like 2 months, and we're simply just finishing the basement.
Yeah.
And I know I talked on last podcast about how they're making us do an egress window and stuff, and just kind of weird stuff like that. So we're on pause with that, really. We've been doing the drywall upstairs and kind of getting things done and in order. We have all our materials in the garage and that there. So, that'll get moving. But I don't know. I'm not in any rush this time, which, I feel like my wife, being pregnant and we're due in about 3 weeks. And this will be our last flip for a little bit. So we're kind of getting as much done before that. But then, we're probably going to take a little pause on flipping and just doing anything for the rest of the year. Going to refinance and kind of get the financing in order and stuff like that. And then take a good 3-4, more months just to kind of personally get set up and relaxed and, enjoy life a little bit here. And and just kind of take a pause. And then next year we'll be ready to ramp things up and get moving. So it's kind of put our, not just a pause, but we're just not to have that same rush to get this done so we can recycle the money and get going on it. So, again, we think there's going to be a healthy profit in both of them too. So,
doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
You also had a listing, right? That you guys had offer presentation on in Oshawa. Was it in Oshawa?
Yes,
Oshawa,
yes. North Oshawa one that sold, and some interesting things happened because it went above, even what we thought firm offer. What was interesting about it is it had solar panels on it. And they're rental, right? They're a rent to own kind of thing, and you pay it off, and it makes you money every month, but it's still a burden on it. So it's interesting. The new agent, the buyer agent, wanted us to take the solar panels off the house because their insurance premiums were too high. Their quotes that they were getting for insurance were too high. And it's not cheap to get these taken off, right? So we inquired about it. I think it was $32,000. They wanted us to take them off and remove them off. Yeah.
To take them off and buy out the contract?
I think so, yeah. And it's just strange, right? So, I think people don't realize when they're offering on these properties with something like solar panels on, that's something you have to consider that, yes, your insurance premiums might be higher, even though they make money every month. But it's not really our problem. We kind of said to them, hey, don't know how to put this politely, but we're not paying to take these off. If you want to pay us to take them off, sure thing. Or your client's just going to have to suck up that higher insurance premium. I'm kind of wondering if there's something other on the side going on that they now all of a sudden don't want them or trying to, I don't know. So interesting stuff. And,
as part of the purchase and sale agreement, they knew that there was solar panels and they were rental. They knew what the rental figure was. They're okay with it. I guess now that they're getting closer to close date, trying to get a insurance on the property, they're saying what's on the property, their solar panel, more risk, a higher premium. Did they tell you what the premium was?
No. And that's the other problem, right? It's like, well, how much more? Is it more than what you're paying right now? Is it just someone, I don't know, they just paid $1,025,000 for this property. So I don't think they're hurting for cash. So it's a strange situation. Right. Kind of interesting in that. But our Pickering listing, interesting enough, didn't get any offers on it.
So what kind of property?
It's a row house in Pickering, which is kind of strange because it's like a townhouse, but it's in the middle of, essentially 2 end townhouses. So it's like 3 townhouses and they're the middle unit. So technically it's called a row house. 3-bedroom, pretty good layout. But in Pickering, like we listed at $799.
It's a freehold townhouse?
Yep. And listed for $799 and didn't get a single offer, which is kind of strange. There was houses on the street that have sold for like a detached one that just sold last week for $900,000. So we're thinking, maybe we, list that, maybe we get like an 850, an 840. But then I thought maybe we didn't list low enough. I don't want to bring this conversation back up, but it was interesting how we didn't get offer on that. And I know there is houses that aren't getting offers on them right now in the market, which is perplexing. But yet we're seeing some, like our other North Oshawa one that got $1,025,000 you know,
Right.
when we were only really expecting about 950.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so it's a strange market. It's a strange market.
Yep. I've spoke to a few agents actually who are having this issue. They're having, you know, it's oftentimes it's the townhouses. It's the, do you know how old this townhouse is?
Fairly new. I think it's
Newer?
5-6
Yeah.
years old.
Yeah. I
Maybe
know-
older than that.
Yeah.
But
Someone else has a property in, I mean, I have a listing in Oshawa that I can't sell.
Vancouver?
It's just Vancouver. It's just been sitting there.
I was going to ask you about that. So that's still in the market, eh?
It's still in the market, yeah. Still getting inquiries, still getting like showings, you know, 2-3 a week.
At 775 you're still at?
No, 739.
739. Legal 2 unit.
Yeah.
Tenants paying 35
They're around $3,500, yeah.
inclusive.
Yeah. And upper unit's going to be vacant.
See, that's, you know what's, that's so strange to me. But then like, we had, I lost out on a house this week on Wilson. 8 offers on it. It was listed at 550. We offered 650. Ended up going for 711.
Wow.
Full reno, had a death in the upper unit, natural death in the upper unit that was disclosed. You know, and again, I was like 711, like, holy smokes, they're going to put, you know, you could buy a legal, you know, and this was detached, yours is semi-detached, but still,
Yeah.
you know, from an investment standpoint, that semi should be,
It's a good buy.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I
And
mean.
people are saying, like, agents are saying that it's a good buy, but they're saying, you know, our clients would prefer a detached property.
Or vacant possession. Have you heard that at all?
Yeah.
See, that's what I noticed in the one I had too. I had a detached legal 2 unit that we couldn't sell. And it was the same thing. I was like, the tenants were paying, well, what we thought, this is the problem too, market rents, right? Rents have gone
increasing pretty
through the roof,
dramatically.
right? And
Yeah,
I think this is
exactly, yeah.
what's been tricky is even though we're saying, wow, this thing cash flows at this price, it's a good buy. I don't know. They're thinking we could get more, which I guess they have a point.
I am noticing that right now. A lot of my buyers, and I told you this, are sitting on the sidelines and not acting. And yesterday I posted on my story, I said the last time someone was sitting on the sideline, I ended up buying the property and we did fairly well. So, and there's quite a bit of opportunities out there. Opportunities are out there.
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
I guess this is a good segue into our next topic, the new reality in Oshawa.
The new reality in Oshawa.
The new reality in Oshawa, yeah. So what does the new Oshawa look like in terms of investment properties? Where are we at? What's our purchase price? What's our renovation? What's our finished product?
Okay, well, we just discussed like 100K, right? 100K, we're going to use that as a rental, right? Which let's call that 30K up, 70K down, right? 30K for your upper unit, flooring, paint, kitchens, bathrooms, trim and doors. You're going to spend 30K. Downstairs, 70K, you know, plumbing, electrical, framing, insulation, drywall, flooring, kitchens, bathrooms, paint, doors, and trim.
Right.
What's our purchase price then? Again, this is what's crazy to me though. Okay, go ahead. I'll let you break this down.
So, I mean, let's, I guess what we can do for everyone watching, we can kind of take them through our spreadsheet analysis and just show people what the new reality is and, you know, what is the new reality and does it make sense? Like I know that a lot of people, when they think about Oshawa, and the reason why they're coming to Oshawa is because of that attractive purchase price, right? For a very long time, it was $400,000 to $500,000 to purchase.
Yep.
But, you know, if we look at it now, our new purchase price, based on what you just said, Wilson Road,
Detached.
that you lost.
Detached 3-bedroom.
Let's just talk about a detached property, which is what we're typically going to be telling people to purchase. So on this scenario that you were talking about, they purchased a property for $711, you said? $711, right? So that's our purchase price. Investment property, 20% down. Our renovations are still $100,000, as we discussed. Right. Our renovations are still $100,000.
This one probably not. It had a kitchen downstairs already, but wasn't legal. Layout was good in the basement. So I don't know, maybe a little bit less. Call it 80, 90.
Let's call it $85K.
Sure.
$85K.
So we're in for
$252,000 with down payment, closing costs, and renovation money. Okay. All right. So typically in Oshawa, it's taking us at least 2.5 months to get permits right now. Right? So sure, in the 2.5 months, maybe you're not doing any renovation, but you have holding costs.
Yep.
Right? So what I kind of tell people is that you got to assume that this is taking like 6 months from day one to finish. So 6 months, holding costs are around $20,000.
Yep.
Okay. So now that we've done the reno, property of this scale, oh, bless you.
Excuse me.
Property of this scale should be worth around $860. We're talking detached bungalow, 3 bedrooms up, 2 down.
Yes.
On Wilson Road, you said?
Yeah.
So
walkout basement.
Is that, oh, nice, walkout basement. So that's in the Donovan area. Is it Donovan?
Technically central.
Central, okay.
It was on the other side of Wilson. Wilson's that divider.
Yeah.
Really good ceiling height. Really good property. It is a good property. I think, once they done, but yeah, definitely minimum 860. That'll be
860, yeah. I mean, let's just go with 860 for now. And was the lot big enough for any sort of future development?
No.
No,
it had because of the walkout, the backyard was small. Possibly. I don't know what the total square footage was.
Yep.
If it was 4,000, because if it was by 40 by 100,
yeah,
that's 4,000 square feet. I don't know what the new garden suite rules are going to be. Is that what you're getting to?
Yeah, I was just wondering, are they paying a premium for this because there's something else they can do?
The lot wasn't overly big,
no, okay.
But I think it was still a bigger house too.
Yeah.
Bigger square footage. I would say they're very comfortable at 860 ARV. Yeah.
Okay, 860 ARV. All right, so let's just take a look at this, right? So we invested cash $252,000 at 860 ARV after repair value. The money that will get returned to you is $119,000, which means money left in the deal is $152,000. So this is a property where if you wanted to flip, you would actually lose money on this property. So as a result, you're likely going to be holding on to this property, okay? So upper unit, what are we at in terms of upper unit rents in Oshawa?
You're not going to believe me if I tell you.
Tell me. Break it down. Drum roll, please.
We're up to like 2,300 plus utilities.
That's right.
Which I can't even say out of my mouth and without shaking my head.
22 to be conservative. Lower units?
I think 1,600.
All right, I'm going to go with 17.
Come on.
I'm at $1,800. Was there a garden or shed or a garage?
No, there's a little rinky-dink shed. You're not getting any money for that.
$10?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Okay, so let's look at our rental income and expense. So property tax, I'm assuming $4,600. So our fixed cost on the property is around $3,000. So that's mortgage payment, property tax, insurance. And then we have our maintenance, vacancy, property management for a total of $34.92 in expenses. So monthly cash flow is $408 a month.
Nice.
Not bad, right? But we know that, we're not buying these properties for the cash flow. If they cash flow and allow you to build a reserve, great.
Yep.
So if we look at our 5-year analysis, the mortgage pay down after 5 years is $88,000. Cash flow after 5 years is $24,000. Total profit of $112,000 over 5 years, which works out to 73% ROI. On an annual basis, that's around 15%.
It's awesome.
That's pretty good, right? Considering this is the new reality.
Yep.
And that's assuming 0% appreciation.
Unreal.
So, I mean, just to show people what if you were to apply appreciation to this, let's just say 2%, which we know it often exceeds that, but even at 2%, the appreciation value that you'll gain over 5 years is around $89,000.
Unreal. So,
with assuming 2% appreciation, mortgage paid on cash flow, you're around 27% ROI. Which is pretty good.
I'd take that.
Yeah, I would take that too. So I guess the discussion that we're having is that the new reality in Oshawa has changed, right? $500K is no longer around.
No.
The new purchase price is mid 6s to low 7s, and depending on location.
Yep.
But the comforting point is that, hey, it still works. Like we're seeing resales above 860, above 900K in some scenarios.
We were, yeah.
Yeah. And rental incomes, we're hearing crazy numbers, right? I've heard $2,400 for an upper unit, 6 months in advance paid.
Wow.
So,
yeah, no, that is definitely a different reality than what we've had. And, I think it's going to be tough for some investors to wrap their head around those numbers and, not believe that there's some type of correction coming.
right.
The Legal 2 unit was $600,000 for years
Yeah.
here in Oshawa. And the fact that it's 860, pushing 9 now is crazy, but that's the 40-50% appreciation we've just seen.
Yeah.
And, I think what I keep telling people is interest rates are not going up. Government's still printing money. Now they're opening up to allow immigration back in.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't see anything for a correction coming.
Yeah, I mean, and we got to talk in relative terms, right? So, we're talking about Oshawa being a premium at $700K, but compared to what? It's expensive compared to what?
What do you think these are going to be worth?
I said it last year and I was correct. I said Oshawa was going to be the new Scarborough in terms of prices, which it is.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking that these investment properties are going to be over $1 million. They are, in my opinion. And again, I say relative to what? Relative to everything else along the 401.
$1 million for an Oshawa bungalow.
Yes. Yeah. And then you start comparing.
You sure you don't want to edit this out of the podcast?
No. Keep this. Jamie, keep this. Let's keep this because, relative to what, right? Like if we are talking relative to Scarborough, 700 is still cheap. As is bungalows in Scarborough are 850, 900K right now.
Mm-hmm.
In Etobicoke, they're 1.3, 1.4.
It's wild.
And there's more investment coming into the East End, right? We're seeing the likes of Amazon coming here. We're seeing the likes of, I think
Amazon's got the wording on their building now in Ajax.
Oh, yeah?
Drove past it. I was like, whoa, that thing's a monster. It's at like Roslyn and Salem.
Well, there's one there, and then there's one in Scarborough too. Two fulfillment centers.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that we got to keep in mind is that this is why I like the Durham region is that as there's investment and employment opportunities in the core downtown, right? Which brings employment and brings new people, doesn't necessarily mean everyone's going to want to live downtown, right? Everyone starts looking in the outskirts. Mm-hmm. Not everyone, but a good portion of people. And then when we start talking about relative in terms of, pricing, you have these people who are working downtown for these new jobs. They start looking in the outskirts. They start looking at bungalows, detached properties. Then you're comparing to Mississauga, or you're comparing to Etobicoke. And then you're also doing a comparison in the East End. Mm-hmm. So relative to everything else, we are still affordable, right? So, which is why I think we're seeing a bit of that trend of people, more people buying out East, which is why I just think, in a matter of time, Scarborough, the Bluffs area, is going to be compared to Etobicoke, $1.4, $1.5 million. And then we're going to have, an influx of buyers again who were comfortable paying, $1 million for Scarborough, but now Scarborough's 1.2. So the next best thing is keep going east.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drive till you can afford a bungalow, baby.
Drive for dollars, right?
Drive for dollars. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
that's my train of thought there.
Yeah. No, I like it. It's, it makes sense. It's going to take me a couple more months to digest, but
it's okay. I'll bring you around to it. Once these refinances come in
and that's it. I'm excited to see how mine goes in Oshawa there. Yep. It's going to be a 2+2, but in a really nice area. And, I'm excited to see what that comes in at. And
I think
what I rent for too.
Right. What I have comfort over is that, you're doing it, I'm doing it, we're doing, good work. We're going to be attracting good tenants. I know some other agents that are doing same type of work and everyone's going after the same thing, right? Everyone's saying we're going to renovate it nicely. We're going to get good tenants in there and we're going to refinance.
Yep.
And, I have trust in these people who are doing it and I know that they're going to do a good job.
Yep.
So should be helping everyone's case out.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just it's just crazy because it feels like it just changed overnight, and this new reality is, I think, here to stay as well, but we'll have to wait and see.
All right. Should we jump into the next segment? I have something interesting.
I'm excited.
All right. So deal destruction. So I wanted to I wanted to bring up a commercial listing in Oshawa and give you the details, and hopefully we can run the numbers and see if the numbers make sense.
Cool.
Let's go for it. All right. So the property is located downtown Oshawa, 24 Bond Street. Okay. So it's it's actually very close to one of our favorite spots in Oshawa, Santorini Euro.
Oh,
shout out Santorini Euro.
Maybe we get a sponsor.
God,
Maybe we get a sponsor. We order from lunch from there
all the time. Okay, so this is a corner unit in Oshawa, 24 Bond Street. It's listed for $999, so just under $1 million. The total area of the lot is 3,200 square feet. It comprises of 2 commercial units and 2 residential units. So one of the commercial units is a Oshawa Thai cuisine that's been around for, I think, 20 years or so. So they're renting the place out. They're doing well. There's another commercial unit at the back, which is vacant right now. Upstairs, there's 2 residential units, and each residential unit is a 3-bedroom unit. Okay, so let's take a look at some pictures. They only have pictures of the outside. You pulled up the listing?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is just off a main road in Oshawa.
What are they all vacant or are they all rented?
So one commercial is tenanted and one residential is tenanted, which means one residential is vacant, one commercial is vacant. And they've given us some financials that I'll pull up so we can run the numbers. Okay. All right, so let's run these numbers. So purchase price on this is $999. Okay, let's assume that no renovations. Let's just look at it as is. You want to run the numbers? I'll give you the numbers. You can run it.
I'm looking at the financials right now.
Yeah. So we have main floor restaurant leased until October 31, 2025. They're paying a rent of $2,205 a month, which is, I don't know, in your opinion, is that's pretty low, no?
Yeah, how big is that? I'm trying to look for the square footage of that.
Yeah, it doesn't really say.
All right, I'm looking at the 2-bedroom apartment. A second level apartment 2 to 3. Apartment 2, 3 bedrooms. Gotcha. A 3-bedroom apartment for $1,000 a month above a commercial space. That tenant's got to go.
Yeah.
Potentially leased for $1,300, which we just talked about. It's probably more, but I guess it's downtown Oshawa above a commercial space.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For more, but I think that main floor restaurant too is a little bit low, $2,200. Depends on what type of lease they have too. If it's a triple net lease or how that's working, it kind of feel like that's going to be all inclusive.
So, you have a bit more experience in the commercial space, a lot more experience. So, with that lease being leased until October 31, 2025, what kind of options do you have in terms of managing that tenant?
None.
Nothing, right? You can't renegotiate the lease. You have to assume whatever lease they're on, that stays in place and continues. Yep. Okay, cool.
Yep. You're not getting them out.
Right. Okay. So,
unless they don't pay their rent, but I highly doubt they would not pay their rent.
That's right. Okay.
Which could be a good thing. You're going to guarantee that $2,200.
So based on the financials here, they're saying that, and I assume they're doing this based on what these, if these properties were tenanted, what they'll do. So they're calling total income of $60,060, expenses around $16,000. So you want to do some quick math there for us?
Mm-hmm. So $43,000 would be your net operating income.
Yep.
If we divide by that by $1 million, we have a cap rate of 4.3%.
4.3. How is that in Oshawa?
Well, I've seen higher. There is higher and better opportunities right now. I think that price needs to come down, and plus that's looking at potential, right? That's not even that's assuming that you can get that tenant out, not really talking or looking at renovations or any capital expenditures. There's a couple other nice retail spots in Oshawa that are, I guess, a much higher price point, but higher cap rates.
Right.
You can get as high as 6% cap rate right now. for retail, but the low price point is what people will like about this.
That's what I was going to say.
Being downtown Oshawa, having a steady tenant in there for, a restaurant that, has survived COVID. So I guess there's got to be something to say for that.
And what about, so I'm noticing that downtown, there are commercial spots, but there's no parking. Does that concern you as a buyer?
Does.
Yeah.
It does. Again, it has to be a business that, your tenants aren't going to have cars, right? Which we don't like. Yeah. I'd almost wish it was just the commercial spaces. I don't like how
it's all the residential.
The residential above are not going to be good quality tenants, right? You're going to be tenants above there. You could see the AC unit sticking out of the window.
Yep.
So doesn't have AC, likely baseboard heat. Plus, you're a tenant renting over top of a Thai shop. You're going to have the smells, the food coming up. I'm sure some people would like that, but waking up to that every morning might not be so pleasant. But I don't know. This is a good investment for the right type of client for sure. But low price point tenant mix. Yeah.
Yeah. Regarding the parking, what we're noticing in downtown Oshawa is that there's a lot of apartment buildings going up and apartment buildings that are more so rentals, right? Which means you're going to have a good number of people in the area. Within the next 4 or 5 years, the population downtown Oshawa is going to grow. So there's going to be a lot of people in the area, coupled with the university students coming back. So you can say that there's a lot of people on their feet who are in the area. Which, perhaps parking, yes, we said it's an issue, but maybe it can be overlooked. But of course, if you're buying real estate, you do want to have the option of having, parking available, whether it's for your workers, for yourself, potential tenants upstairs. You don't really want to create additional, an additional burden for anyone. So I came across this. I thought it was interesting. And it was more interesting to me just based on the purchase price and being a corner unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And having the mix of commercial and residential is nice.
Yeah.
No, it's not horrible. It's not horrible. Someone will buy this. Someone will scoop this up.
Yeah. I assume it needs some TLC though. Those upper unit residentials probably need some work.
Yeah. I would try to get that upper unit out even before buying it, clean it up, get it up to market rents.
Yeah.
They got a 4.3 cap rate based off of market rents too.
Yeah.
So I'd have to imagine there's some negotiations in purchase price. It'd be hard to finance this.
Mm-hmm. That cap rate?
Yeah, well, because it's not at that cap rate, right? That's the potential of the cap rate.
Yeah.
The real cap rate's probably 2%, 2.5%, which is the same problem I'm having with my listing on Bloor Street.
Yeah.
Our actual cap rate is low, but it's got a lot of potential. But again, there's someone's got to be able to take that on and finance it and carry that until they can stabilize the building.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I know the last thing we wanted to talk about on this is some upcoming news of what we got coming because Ontario's opening back up. We are itching to start our property workshops up again.
That's right.
Why don't you break down what happens on them, what it's going to look like, what the plan is? I think we said the 26th, right?
26th, that's right. Yeah, so essentially at these property tours, what we do is we bring together like-minded people, creates a networking event for us, networking event for people who are in the market to purchase. And what we like to do is we like to take people out on a property tour where we physically go and see 4 to 5 properties that we've done our due diligence on, and we know that it's a good purchase for people to consider. So, we're not taking people out to see properties that may not work. We're oftentimes have done our due diligence, have gone and visited it ourselves, have a plan, and we're essentially showing everyone these properties and giving someone the opportunity to purchase these properties. So we do 4 or 5 properties. At the properties, we do a walkthrough. We look at what the property needs in terms of work.
Break down the numbers.
Yeah, what's the highest and best use of the property, and then finally we look at the numbers. Get everyone comfortable over the numbers and what you can achieve by purchasing the property. And typically at the end, what we've done is, we go for lunch where we kind of have a Q&A session where people have questions about the properties. We'll talk to them about the properties, or if they have any, general questions about investing, how to overcome some obstacles. I know in the past people have spoke about, overcoming financing and overcoming the renovation fear and so on and so forth. So I don't know if we'll be able to do a lunch this time around. Maybe we will be. Who knows? But yeah, great opportunity to come out and essentially get out and see properties and just get a step closer to making the purchase.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Really believe that education is, needed before investors are comfortable. So we kind of created this so that people can, get the education in a good, comfortable environment until they're confident enough to say, yep, ready to pull the trigger.
That's right. Yeah. And yeah, it's, I think the whole intention, like you said, is to educate people. We've never left forcing anyone to put in an offer on anything.
Nope.
Oftentimes people are coming and saying, I think this is the one, we're ready to do it. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for everyone. So you want to talk about that?
A couple different spots. You literally can just email us or shoot us a message and let us know that you're coming. I do have a sign up on my website too that you can pop onto and register. It'll give you more details. Look on our Instagram where we have a link there to register. I have to make sure it's live. I know it probably took it down pre-COVID, but everything will be up and running by the time this podcast is up and going. So we'll put a link in the notes for the podcast so where you can sign up and get in contact with either Saman or I, and we'll save you a spot.
Absolutely. Cool.
Right on, episode 10 in the books.
Yeah, in the books, yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to do the closing remarks, sir.
You want me to do the like, subscribe? All right, folks, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like, subscribe. I'm not as good as Saman Habibi at this. Go refer to, send this episode to a friend. Say, hey, you got to watch it. Mix in a like for us, all right?
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.